And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
And today we are reviewing Netflix's original series, Ratched, or...
Ratched. Ratched was inspired by the iconic and unforgettable character of Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. On a clandestine mission, Mildred presents herself as the perfect image of what a dedicated nurse should be, but those wheels are always turning, and as she begins to infiltrate the mental health care system and those within it, Mildred's stylish exterior belies a growing darkness that has long been smouldering within.
So this story comes from the mind of Ryan Murphy, and if you know Ryan Murphy's work, I feel like the crowd, the general conception or understanding of Ryan Murphy's work is you love it or you hate it. And I've been teetering between the two. I always thought I was a massive fan of Ryan Murphy, and then I watched, I think he did Hollywood recently, and I wasn't massively I understood that it was a creative work that was very good, but I didn't really get to really be inspired by those characters or really get gripped in that much. I love the acting, but the story didn't grip me. So I was tentatively excited for this. I think you were excited more for this because you knew of the character.
Well, I didn't know. I hoped that that's what it was going to be based off of because I have never watched a trailer, didn't read the synopsis. You know how I like to just go in blind. But I saw the poster, and as soon as I saw that and I saw the word Ratched, I was like, I wonder if that's going to be the nurse from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And what a brilliant concept, because she is such a hated character. If anyone's ever read the book or seen the play or seen the film, you hate her. And it's really interesting to find out who she really is and how she gets to be who she is in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I think that you could really enjoy this whether you know the story of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or not.
Yeah. I was a little bit worried about the storyline of this and whether I would be invested in the characters, because I really thought that it was just going to be about her going mental, becoming that horrible character that we know in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But very quickly there you find that it's got its own story to tell, which I was really happy about. Pretty much by the end of episode 1, we both went to it's going to be about this, and the story was about this. No spoilers.
No spoilers here.
Suffice to say, there is a really good arc within this storyline. But what makes the storyline so interesting is not necessarily the arc of the story. It teaches between the cinematography, the making of each episode, and the acting.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk a bit about that?
So the cinematography is really interesting, and the choices that the director has made are really interesting as well. One of the things that I really appreciated is it's quite brave to do it. Although, obviously, he's not the first director in the world to do this. But to express emotions with colour. So there are times when things happen and everything turns green. Like, literally everything turns green, or everything turns red, or everything turns blue. And it just shows that there is something other, something different about the character of Mildred and how she perceives the world. The whole colour palette for all of it is really vibrant.
Yeah.
The scenery is spectacular. The sets are really interesting. I mean, the story cars, it's all really colourful. And yet the sort of the story matter is very bleak.
It's a very dark story.
Yeah, it is
very
really
dark.
dark.
It is very much 18, and not because they're very explicit in content, and they do get explicit, but it's more for the dark themes that they explore. And so because it's an insane asylum, you get torture, you get people doing things that is not thought of as okay because of the time period. So that's very interesting for them to play with those themes. I think that some people will be upset about some of the stuff that they see in this. It's also not very historically accurate. They have characters in certain positions when it comes to a skin color that they wouldn't have had those positions then because of skin color. And so and Ryan Murphy loves doing this. He plays with that. He likes to put people in where it's like his own version of history. And so we have a Ryan Murphy universe. And he's like, okay, well, what would it be like if these characters were there and what they were doing, and this person is gay and this person is lesbian and this person is this skin color, and now we have these people interacting in a time when it's not okay to be those people.
Yeah.
And that's all very interesting as well. And so you have those themes, those stories, I guess, with a lot of characters around the edge, and then you have this whole hospital scene, which is quite grim. And so you have that juxtaposition with the really bright color palette,
Yeah.
and the really grim storytelling, but it's also very immersive, I would say.
Yeah.
There was one recent episode that we watched recently that did make our us go, well, there's a lot of sex in this episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Even then, you don't really see a lot of flesh. It's just that it's a very sexual episode.
Yeah.
They just have that, and I feel like that's almost themed per episode. They have a story that they want to go through with each episode while following that overarching story. You get all of that. The color palette, though, I'm amazed at like you were talking about, that the way they build the sets and how vibrant the color palettes are, and the choice between going for almost the emotion that the characters are feeling.
Yeah.
But what I noticed was that even the most simplistic sets, so like a hallway in the psychiatric hospital, can go from looking really bleak to just looking like a horror scene. And that is, again, to do with color palette, to do with what's being shown, how you set up your shots to make it go from low to high, setting up that thriller, horror-esque vibe, and then snapping out of it and going straight into the, she's Nurse Ratched again.
I also just think her acting is outstanding, and probably, we can thank the director for this as well. Obviously she's an outstanding actress, but she's been directed well, and she's so sinister. Like,
there's more that meets the eye with her.
Yeah.
You always know she's calculating.
You're just worried every time she's on the screen. You're
Fantastic
worried.
actress.
You don't know what she's going to do, and it's really tense. It makes you so on edge.
Yeah, it really
watching
does.
it.
The acting in general is of a high caliber, and you will notice. Excuse me while I burp. Yeah, thanks.
Better.
Yeah. You will notice other actors that you recognize, but you also might be squinting and going, wait a minute, I know that person. We did one with Sharon Stone, which I knew was in the credits, but I hadn't seen her character until she does pop up. And the whole time I'm going, is that her? No, it's not her. Is that? Yes, it's her. Is that? She looks so different. But again, makeup, prosthetics, costumes. The costumes are fantastic. The cars are amazing. The script is very good, very right for the tone.
Yeah.
Polished. I feel like that's this series. It's very polished.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be anything extraneous.
Yeah.
It's just exactly what needs to be there.
If I had to draw on a negative for this series, I would say that at times it feels like the story is being drawn out.
Yeah.
It does feel a bit long-winded.
Yeah.
I do feel like there are some episodes you could have shaved off 10 minutes because you're doing almost that mise-en-scene.
Yeah.
We want to show you everything because it's so glorious to look at.
I know.
Which it is, and the acting is so fantastic.
They're going out to a restaurant. Let's follow them in the car.
And the director's like, this is so great, guys. Don't you love what you're seeing? And we're like, shouldn't we cut? No, we're not cutting. You're going to see every damn second, damn it. And it works to a certain extent because of the aesthetics that they're going for, but I do feel like it was a bit slow at times.
But maybe it's one of those series that you need to not binge. Maybe you need to watch one episode per night or one episode per week, and just, go at that pace.
Yeah.
Let it just settle and drift over you. I don't know.
I agree.
Because it was hard going trying to binge it. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't watch it all at once either. So,
No.
yeah, chat to us in the comments below. Let us know how excited you are for this. We are thinking about doing a spoiler review for this, but if you want one, you want certain plots like explored or talked about or where you think it might go, we're happy to talk about that. But for now, we've given you a spoiler-free review. Thank you so much to Netflix for giving us screeners once again.
Yep.
I think we have a great partnership with them. Don't forget that we're everywhere in our social media feeds. We've got a new Discord. I'll leave the info in the description below, along with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're trying to invade the world, so but do chat to us about this. I'm sure a lot of people are excited. If the numbers of the trailer are anything to go by, people are really excited for this. So yeah, anything else, babe?
We didn't give it a score.
Oh,
But also there's a motorbike.
Yeah, that's a car.
Okay, it's a car with a hole in the exhaust.
I'm going to give this a B+.
Oh, I'm going to give it an A-.
Okay.
And the reason I'm bumping it up is because it's visually very appealing.
Okay. And the reason why I've bumped it below is because it's a bit slow for me.
Yeah.
So.
And I think also it's difficult to, maybe because it's so dark, you kind of feel like, I shouldn't love this.
Yeah, but I mean, people love Dexter, and you shouldn't love that.
No, that's true.
All right, thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember,
Live long and Tuesday.